Hi guys, it's Wombat, and you might be wondering why on earth I'm showing you two screens at the same time. Well, the reason is pretty simple. I don't want to waste a lot of your time showing you two different videos. I'm going to show you both of them simultaneously. To the left I'm hauling on EAA, and to the right I'm hauling right now in China. I'm on my way to Taiwan. And these two maps, the EAA map and the China map, I have added them to my main setup. So if you're interested in hauling way outside of Europe but still be able to move back into Europe on the same profile and hauling from Brazil or China to Europe, this is your setup. If you find that to be a horrible idea, I strongly suggest you stop watching right now. For the rest of us, let's get moving. Now, before we start looking at it, I just want to inform you that my main setup file or video, or the setup I have on that one, is required for this to work. If you haven't watched the video, I strongly suggest you do, and if you do, you'll find that EAA is located very, very close to I was gonna say Israel, but it's not Israel, it's Ireland. God, I'm tired today. Ireland, and then you have to the left of that, and very close to Iceland, you'll find Taiwan, and then you have some roads in China as well, mainland China. And just because I can, I also added the PJ Indo map to this video because I didn't add it to my main setup in the last video. But that's it, and if you want to haul on something like that, let's go through the setup. Now, it isn't that hard to get this setup up and running, really. The only big problem is to get EAA to run, and that is because EAA requires a fix that isn't that easy to find. But I have provided a link to that and to the rest of the three maps I'm adding to my main setup in this video in the description. So hopefully you won't have issues adding EAA this time. And with all these three maps, as long as it's added in this order, it doesn't really matter if you add all three of them or just one of them or two of them. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you do it in this order. Now, the first map we need to add is the PJ Indo. That one goes to the very bottom. And then you have the maps EAA file and the base maps EAA file just on top of that. The last one is a bit more tricky because China is today in version 1.31 only 4 files. It used to be, I think it was 12 files or something ridiculous, but nowadays it's just 4 files. But it is impossible to, by looking at the file, knowing which one to add in what order. But if you select one of them and press the information button, you'll find that it has the number 06 in it, the first one. That one is the one just above the base maps EAA file. Then you add the file with the package name 05 somewhere in it when you look in the description on top of that, and then the 04 file before adding the def file, which is the only file that you can actually identify by its name. So that's the 7 files that needs to be added to add these 3 maps to the setup. However, there's a couple of more files that you need to add, and you'll find them a bit higher up in the setup. And the first one is the key to get EAA to work. Now, if you don't add this file, you'll never get EAA to work, and it's a fix that allows you to have EAA running together with Promods. It also adds ferries to EAA, which also the ferry connection from Romania extended does. Obviously the ferry for Romania extended will only be used if you do have Romania extended installed. If you're running on my second main setup that has YKS EU Team Turkey, instead you won't need that file. But the Promods EAA fix is definitely needed. And also you need to make a note of exactly where I put these files. The Romania extended ferry connection to EAA is placed just below Poland. If you place it prior to the Romania extended files, you'll have a crash. So be aware of where to put these files, otherwise you will see crashes. One last thing that needs to be said about this is these trucks come in here, these cars. They are from the China map mod, and they are all over your map when you use China. And the problem with them is that they are horribly slow. The ones with the Buddha statues are driving at somewhere between 20 and 40 kilometers an hour. So they are ridiculously slow, and because the China map mod looks like it does, it can be a pretty painful experience to be hauling, trucking just behind one of those, because in a lot of places it's impossible to get past them. And if you don't like that, you'll better get rid of China. I never seem to be able to make up my mind. I sometimes have them, the China map mods installed, and other times I get so sick of it that I completely remove them for months and then I add them back in again. And that is because, you know, sometimes you feel like, or I do feel like, I need to learn to slow down and work on my patience. And when I need to work on my patience, those cars, those trucks are really nice to have there because it really helps you work on your patience. And sometimes I'm not in the mood for it, and then I remove the map. So, but it's up to you. If you find it's okay to have them, the Chinese traffic on all of your maps, feel free to still continue to use China. If you hate it, just remove the 4 files and you're set. I haven't found any way there's one more, to limit the traffic, the China traffic from the China map mod to just China. They are either all over the place or you don't have China. Sorry about that. I'm gonna continue look at how to solve that. It used to be a lot easier when China was 12 files because they were in separate files, those traffic mods. But today, since it's only 4 files with a lot of mods combined, the traffic mods as well, it's a lot more difficult. But it is what it is. Anyway, if you add China, you'll have a gigantic map to haul on. And with that said, I really hope you enjoyed this video as well. If you did, please press the like and subscribe buttons, and in any case, I hope to see you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye.